talk about too much things like money and all that stuff. We're more talking about the emotion behind like what we're feeling and stuff like that. So I definitely
already dead.
If I should die tonight and you should live, then carry on till the very end. If I should die tonight and you should...
Yo, what's up? This is the Phantom Project and you're tuning into AVG Productions. Enjoy the interview.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are tuning in to the AVG interviews. We're in Cape Town, and Cape Town is very blessed to have pretty much everything. We have mountains, beaches, forests, kind of anything that you want. But not only with nature, but with music as well. We have a wide variety of genres, a wide variety of people that do these genres. And that's why today I'm joined by a very talented guest, and his name is Phantom.
Yo, what's up? What's up, guys? So my name's the Phantom Project. It was the Phantom, and I thought I'd diversify and maybe just name it the Phantom Project because it's like my music's a project, and I like work on it and continuously changing the styles and things like that. So it's more of like a project to me. And
how did you get to the name Phantom?
So I actually don't even really know this one. I think one day I was just like thinking to myself, and I wanted to be like, I knew that I was going into an underground genre. And so my thought process behind Phantom was maybe not so known. Mm-hmm. And a phantom, you generally like, you don't really see.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the Phantom, the part was just like going into the underground like genre and just not being like so known. So that's what, I think that's maybe where the Phantom came from. Yeah.
You don't only diversify in terms of the way you perform, rapping or singing or whatever it may be. You also do a couple of other things musically. What exactly do you do?
So I also make some techno, and I make trance and like a whole bunch of stuff. I also make like a lot of compositions with piano, like just straight piano and guitar and things like really melodic and like
instrumental.
Very instrumental. So definitely I diversify in like all ranges of like music. So basically, I have a lot of music, and a lot of music like I used to do when I used to make, because I started off with my music making deep house and like techno and trance. And so I have a separate account on my SoundCloud that I used to release, and now I've got all my songs privated. Okay. But that I did that for about 2 years, and now this Phantom project like that I'm working on is I've been doing this for 2 years now, but I've privated a lot of it as well, just for production purposes. My production wasn't up to the standard that I wanted it, and at the moment it's like where I want it, so I had privated my not so good songs.
So you have a lot of old songs, you have new songs and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, you started around about in 2015?
2015.
Okay. So that's a long time to be making music. So what really inside of you pushes you so hard to work so hard,
I think it's just the whole like thing of making music and the creativity part of it, and I think that I release my emotion, and it's like it's a way of release for me, in that I can put my emotion and my thinking process into a song and release it for other people to get on my page as to where I am in my life at this like point.
So what exactly would you classify your genre as right now? Because we've talked about like you've branched out, you've done a lot of things, but to explain to someone, instead of playing a song, what would it be? Sad trap, like what?
I think sad trap or alternative. I think that's the broader, the umbrella term for our genre. Exactly. is alternatives.
For that genre, we talked about it off recording, but is there any sort of scene here at all for it?
Not that I've seen, and I've been, like I said, I've been working in the music industry since 2015, and for the 2 years that I've been working in this alternative genre, I've known a couple like of artists, but not here, maybe like Joburg, things like that. So otherwise in the style of music that I make, I haven't really seen anyone down here doing any of that, which is like, it's a bit weird. So no one here really.
Yeah, and it's cool because there's a lot of people that you may not know, but they live just by you. For example, like Manic, and that's kind of what we as AVG are trying to do is just kind of not only for us and for the listeners, but also for artists to kind of link up, because I think even though I know you do quite a lot and you do quite well in terms of advertising yourself and a social media presence, can I say, but I think South African musicians in general aren't putting themselves online enough. So why do you think that is?
So what I like, my conclusion on that is, I think that a lot of people have a misconception on the music industry, and I think that definitely the music industry unfortunately has come to a point where I think that it's more marketing and how you market yourself. And I think that down here, like I just said, I think a lot of the artists like to just create music, so they don't put too much time into the promotional side. And so I think there's a lot of artists that could blow up if they promote themselves like really properly. And I learned from like my friends who I work with in America, and like my clique that I work with. So
but let's just talk a bit about your tattoos. What tattoos do you have?
Okay, so I've got like a wave on the back of my legs, a bit hard because I got long pants on now, but I would show you. You'll probably insert a picture or something. So I've got a wave on the back of my leg, which represents Pisces, because I'm a Pisces, born in March. The rose on my arm over here is for my gran, because it's her favorite flower, and my gran raised me. So yeah, my gran has raised me. The angel on my arm here is because my second name is Stone, and now my dad actually I got that name from an angel, which was Ezekiel Stone. So I got that angel, which was Ezekiel Stone. I've got Lil Peep's date of like year of birth, and then the year he died.
Right, Peep.
Yeah, R.I.P. Definitely. And I've got a ghost on my arm. Just to represent my genre. I know a lot of people actually think that this is like supposed to be Phantom, but it's actually not supposed to be Phantom. It's just supposed, like I said, with the whole Phantom thing, unknown, and so I think that's just my like reasoning behind that.
More the reasoning why you got the Phantom name, not to represent Phantom.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's actually all the tattoos. I only have 5, but
well,
definitely
that's still definitely a lot.
Yeah,
very fresh ones, I must say.
Yeah, thank you.
How originally did you get into music when you first started?
Honestly, I started playing guitar in around about grade 6, so I was like, no, maybe like grade 4. So like I was playing around like musically from like a young age, and I thought like, okay, I'm gonna make beats. Researched online like FL Studio. My first copy of FL Studio was a torrented version of FL Studio. So I mean, like, I think that's just how I started, and I started just playing on like the tracks that you get. I didn't even know the piano rolls or anything like that. So but then obviously over time, then I learned the program a bit more and got into different genres and stuff. Yeah.
Many of the people you collaborate with are actually overseas, and you do it in the form of something called Already Dead. So just talk about what that is.
So Already Dead is like an amalgamation of artists and just different, like, we've got producers, we've got graphic designers, we've got like vocal artists such as myself. And basically I had met on my like 3rd or 4th song that I'd ever posted in this genre. My friend Sad Moon, his name's Devin, but Sad Moon for the purpose of Already Dead, hit me up, and he wanted to like talk to me, and he's from America, and so we decided to basically make like a clique. And just have like a whole bunch of artists, and so we did that, and then we started building on like Instagram and all that stuff, and that's how we've just like done it ever since like 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
Okay. And any inspirations behind Already Dead? Goth Boy Click? Or?
Yeah, I think Goth Boy Click, because all of us were like into Peep, Tracy, you know, like Fishnark for the producers.
Yeah.
And so yeah, definitely I think Goth Boy Click was a definite inspiration behind like our clique, you know. For the meantime, I'm just gonna stay in South Africa, but I am me and Already Dead we are planning to do a tour within this year or next year.
Okay, so it's soon.
So it's definitely soon, yeah. So we're probably gonna be doing a tour. So yeah, like just like that stuff, and like down here for the meantime when I'm not here, I definitely want to like link with artists and just like find like artists under my genre and just make music and stuff like that, even if it's not in my genre. If it's techno, you know, if we want to collab and like, you know, make beats, like I'm always open just to me making music. Yeah.
But it's sad because there's lots of artists who, you know, mess up their opportunities and they stop making music, or they just don't progress as an artist. But there are lots of people that are taken away from us too soon. I'm not exactly sure about Mac Miller, but I know that you really liked Peep, Little Peep. So how did you deal with his death? Because 2018 was a very sad year for multiple genres, even celebrities, many died. Like, how did you deal with that?
So I kind of went around it the wrong way, and I can definitely say from a perspective now that it wasn't the right way to deal with it. But I kind of started delving into like more of antidepressant medication and things like that, and I'd even overdosed at one point and had to go to hospital and things like that. So I definitely didn't deal with it in the right way, and I don't think that's how people should deal with other people's deaths. I think it should be more of a celebration of their life, you know, and not so much their deaths. I can like positively say that I've veered away from that side of me.
That's good. That's good. So what can we start doing to ensure that we don't lose as much talent in 2019? That
I think stay true to like the artist, and like I think the encouragement of like drugs and things shouldn't be such a big thing. And I'm not saying that like, I mean, some of these people need the drugs to be functioning like properly. Like some people are on antidepressant medication, things like that. And I think that the glamour, like you making it like
putting
so
in
that,
the spotlight.
exactly.
Almost, yeah.
I think that younger generations should stop maybe hyping up the drugs so much, because that's how we lose artists, you know.
If they start wanting different things, if every single person who raps about drugs, if no one listens to them, they can't get big. They'll stop making that music. So I think it's up to the listener, but it's a very hard debate, and it's going to be hard to do. But I think
definitely, and there's actually been a lot of artists. I mean, I recently heard Future stop drinking lean.
Oh wow!
So, and also an artist, Fat Nick. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, Fat Nick.
He's come out on multiple interviews and said that people should stop putting spotlights on drugs. He does drugs, but he does it for a different reason. And so I think that the more recreational reasoning behind like doing drugs should maybe be like not so put on the spotlight.
And we talked about the older generation being very different, and you know, people changing their mindsets and stuff like that. So lots of people are going to probably be watching this, and obviously they're not going to be a musician themselves, but I think a lot of people, they don't realize that it's very hard, you know, for us as a younger generation to be taking a step forward, saying, no, I don't actually want an office job as soon as I get out of high school. I want to try and follow my dreams and make music and, you know, make art. What can you say to people to try and make them understand?
Obviously, like you were saying, the norm is not to be doing things in the most creative manner. I mean, you don't like hear people pushing you in school. Like no one's teaching you in school to become a musician or to become an artist. Obviously you have music classes, art classes, but no one's really pushing you. They're more pushing you towards more like, say, like ethical jobs, such as like doing things like office jobs, maybe things like that. But I definitely think that if you have a love for music, and or anything for that matter, if you have a love for that, and I think the best thing is just to persevere. I think perseverance in that, whatever you're doing, there's been many times where I've thought to stop doing music because I wasn't really going anywhere with it. And then a month later I'd persevered and I've gone a bit, you know what I'm saying? So I think perseverance is definitely a thing. And if you love what you do, if you love doing something, then do it, just do it. And I think that's why I diversify my genres, because I love making music. And if you love doing like art, like painting and stuff, I think just paint for fun.
So you obviously talked about all the people that you've collaborated with, but just we at the end here. So give a shout out to your mates.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Already Dead, Exoskeleton, Sire, my producer. Sorry if I butchered your name, bro. But Sad Moon, and also I want to shout out to Rory, because Rory helps me with my techno, and he helps me like make my melodies with my techno and stuff. But definitely shout out to Already Dead. Shout out to Vincent for letting me come through and coming through and like letting me come on the AVG podcast. And shout out to Manic, because we're about to make some like killer tracks.
Dang.
And so yeah, that's pretty much all I got for shout outs.
Okay, cool. To shout yourself out, what social medias you're on, any upcoming or already released new projects?
So I've just come out with a song with Ghosty called 911, and you can find that on SoundCloud.
All links for Phantom will be in the description.
Yeah, so that's my SoundCloud. I've just come out with a song called 911 with Ghosty. My Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram at Sombesteeze, SOMBRESTEEZE, Sombesteeze. And then Twitter's just The Real Phantom. And then, SoundCloud's just The Phantom Project. So, yeah. But
Sweet.
that's it.
Well, Shot, so much for coming through and being on this AVG interview.
Thanks
really
so much,
appreciate it.
definitely.
And good luck for the rest of the year, my man.
You too, definitely.
Sweet. Bless up. Thank you for tuning in. Just...